Thank you so much for tuning in to the Outlive the Labels podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Mary Kaye Holmes. Listen, I'm excited because we have started to intertwine some interviews into our format, and I'm starting out with some heavy hitters. So today we have the phenomenal, the amazing Mario Armstrong. Mario, he's an NBC Today contributor. He's an entrepreneur. He's a creator. He's a motivational speaker. And he's also a partner with Damon John of Shark Tank. He's also a two-time Emmy Award winner for his show, The Never Settle Show, filmed at NASDAQ Studios in New York City's Times Square. Mario's mission is to provide advice, mentorship, and tools to help you hustle mindfully to pursue your passions. Welcome to the show, Mario. I'm so grateful to have you on today and that you agreed to the interview.
I'm so excited for this, Dr. Mary Kaye. Thank you so much for inviting me onto the show. The minute you told me about this, I've been excited from day one. So thank you. I'm humbled and honored to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm honored that you accepted the invitation because every time you open your mouth, you drop gems. You have taught me so much. And I was just sharing with you how, you taught me so much in just a short amount of time. And I know you're going to bring so much value to this show today and help so many people. And our listeners are going to love what you have to offer. I know, no pressure, but
no pressure.
You always bring it. So, and I know I gave you that great introduction. So Mario, just share with the audience a little bit more about who you are and why you're so passionate about helping other people pursue their passions.
Great question. I think the long story short, because it's, all of us have a journey. We all have a story. It can be very long from what we've been through and what we've gone through. And our lived experience is our expertise. And a lot of times we don't see our lived experience as our expertise because we're looking for some particular milestone or achievement or some level that we haven't hit yet, but we're disrespecting everything that we've learned and built along the way that got us to where we are. So if I really kind of rewound the story briefly, I would say I'm a boy from Baltimore, grew up in Baltimore City. Baltimore is my home and live in New York, do the show in New York City currently today, but grew up in Baltimore seeing my dad pursue his dreams of trying to create, I guess you could call it a Motown in Baltimore at that time, a record production company, and watching him go after his dreams. My mom was a school teacher in the educational system, sharing a 2-bedroom apartment with my younger brother. And, just seeing my dad really pursue that dream as the entrepreneur in the family, and then knowing what it's like to not have everything on the table in order to make ends meet, watching my dad really pursue this thing and seeing eviction notices on our apartment door as about the age of 10, but seeing him also continue to have the push, somehow the resiliency of being able to deal with the negative and deal with the circumstances in front of him, but continue to push after a vision he had for himself. And so I think early on, resiliency was something that was developed within me without me even realizing that that's what I was witnessing. And so today, when I'm going after my dream and going after our thing, I remember asking my wife to leave her job. We were both working in jobs. She had 6 figures at this time. I was just about to touch that. And we had been 4 bank accounts. So we had a child our son together. He was now 4 years old. And I had just gotten laid off. And I said, oh, this is the break. I said, because I had been working on building my media background while I had my full-time job. So shout out to all the side hustlers out there. Shout out to everybody that's like working on their skill, working on their thing. While you got your full-time job, you're trying to still build your dream. That's who I was. I was working day and night, work by day. Then I do my hustle by night. And that was to get into the media. And so I got my own radio show because I convinced a radio station to let me have a half hour. They charged me some money for it. I went out and found a sponsor to pay for it. And that's how I started my own media career while I had a full-time job, mind you. But then I got laid off while I was building this little media career in Baltimore. I got laid off, and that opened up the opportunity to go all in. And so we had a big deal that was with AOL at the time, $286,000 contract. This is 2007, $286,000 contract that we were supposed to have. So, and we launched our LLC. I got my wife, who reluctantly wanted to leave her job to come and run this company, but I got her to leave. We had a year's worth of savings, 401k. So we thought we were padded. We thought we were good. Mind you, I said it was 2007. Then we get the contract with America Online at AOL, but we signed it and we were headed down to Dulles, Virginia to sign at their signing party. Anything over 250K, they would do a signing party. So we're on our way down 995 south, leaving from Baltimore, headed to Dulles, Virginia to the headquarters. We get the phone call from a guy named David who said, Mario, I'm so sorry. I couldn't call you 3 days ago when I knew this information. He said, but it took me, I know you're on your way here, but the deal's not happening. And we're like, what do you mean? Like, I pull over on the side of the road. I got the phone on speakerphone. I'm like, Dave, I got Nicole in the car. You know, my kid is at my mom's house. You know, I just left my mom and them telling them how great this was. And we were launching our thing. We were on our way to Virginia, go sign this deal. And it's going to start off great. And I'm in the car and he's like, no, we got a new CEO that came on board and all contracts have been frozen. And we're like, dude, you don't understand. You got to backdate this. You can't, like, you don't understand. Like, you have to, like, we had already got our LLC launched. We paid for a lawyer. We already came out of pocket. Like, we already did a demo with you all for, like, the year before. We did a pilot. They loved the pilot. So, like, this was a done deal. But it didn't happen. So that was, like, the longest, saddest ride, hour and 15-minute ride, hour and a half ride back to Baltimore. And my wife's a Libra. You know, so she's like to have balance. Plus, she's from the Caribbean. I mean, she was born in Baltimore, but lived most of her life in St. Thomas. So she's from the Virgin Islands. She ain't all about this go crazy, go ballistic. Like, you know, I'm born in the States. Let's go get it. And so hustle. But at what cost, right? So she was like this great balance. It was the yin to my yang. And so for her, the stability was being pulled out from under us. So all of that to say that moment, we had to make a decision. Then the recession hit in 2008. So now we effectively are launching our company with no contract in a recession, at the beginning of a recession where you would really not be advised to launch your company. So needless to say, we ran out of the savings because nobody was hiring, nobody was doing contracts. Everything froze from that point too. And so we ran out of money. We ran out of credit card debt. We went to credit card debt. We ran out of 401k. My mother-in-law was buying my groceries. I was trying to find loose change to put it in the Coinstar machine at the grocery store to get gas money so I could try to hustle to some kind of deal to make 200 there or 300 there. Like, it was the most eye-opening, roughest. I just remember sitting in parking lots crying sometimes without her being in the car so I could try to get this out of me, figure this out, because I thought I had let my family down by painting this vision and this picture. And then as a black man and as a dad, I really thought that I had, like, failed. And so I'm like, really carrying this weight. And then I'm starting to think about my dad and him going through bankruptcy and all this stuff. And how did he do it? Or how did he pull out? Like, it was just a lot to be going through. And it was my lowest low. I know other people have had lower lows, but from our lifestyle, that was our lowest low. And that taught me resilience. It taught me more strength. It taught me more faith. It gave us rules and formulas to live by. I'm in business with my wife, y'all. I'm not like, you know, she's not like the one with the insurance and still has a steady income. We both had everything into this. So how are we going to take care of our 5-year-old son? How, you know, so all of this was coming up, and it was really testing our marriage and everything else, because how do you run a business and run a marriage and keep things successful at the same time, especially in an economic downturn? So as we start to refine our vision, as we start to come up with systems and practices and vision statements and protocols, like the boardroom is separate from the bedroom, and how we really shielded our relationship from the business and being able to understand the difference and put in these kind of like protective kind of boundaries around us and the business, we started slowly digging out and started getting some opportunity, and the light would still be at the end of the tunnel. And so all of that taught us how to never settle. And so that's how, if you look at where we are now, 10 years, 12 years later, no longer in that kind of debt situation, and got 2 Emmys to show for it, and was nominated for 3 Emmys, won 2, and now have 2 companies, Mario Armstrong Media and Never Settle Productions. And so we just continued to believe and fight for the dream, but it was hard, and it's still, challenging. When you're an entrepreneur, it's still challenging. But that kind of, I know I said it'd be a long story short, but trust me, that's probably as short as I can make the story be, to give you a real understanding of what 10 years is like in just a couple of minutes.
Right. We'll talk about resilience because listen, after hearing everything that you and your wife went through and to see where you are now, I can see why you would call your business Never Settle because you absolutely did not settle. I love it. I love it. So listen, you are a wealth of information, and I know we got so much that we can pull from you and pull out of you, but we got to limit it to one topic. And I was like, what do I talk about with Mario Armstrong? He's got so much
Yeah,
information in him. So today, the topic that I chose today is to talk about goal setting and specifically how there's
mm,
a part of our brain that helps us in goal setting. And I'm sure it even probably can tie back into some of the things that you had to endure. And as you fought through those hard times, I'm sure you had to engage that subconscious part of your brain
that's
to
right.
help you in setting those goals and achieving such major success. So we're going to talk about the reticular activating system, or
Ooh,
other, some people call it the RAS. And so I
yes.
know it's one of your favorite topics, Mario. So come on, tell us what the reticular activating system is and why it's important in goal setting.
Dr. Mary Kay, I'm so glad that you like honed in on this because I think it gets overlooked to some degree. So the real simple definition is this is a part of our brain, the reticular activating system, about the size of a number two pencil eraser in the back of our brain that acts as a filter for all the information coming at us day in and day out. Now, just think about your hands touching, you smelling, you're talking, you're hearing, you're seeing. All of these things, our senses, are giving us stimulation. Then you have the environment, what's happening in your home, who's talking, phones are beeping, email notifications. All these things are stimulus that's happening. So the brain has a filter, and it can filter for what you actually tell it to pay attention to. The way that happens is that over time, if you keep telling your brain something is important, it then knows to filter out all the noise around it to make sure that if it hears that thing, it focuses your attention onto it. So a really easy example for everyone to understand is if you've ever been in a party or in a reception or at a wedding or at a reunion and someone yells your name, could be from across the room, could be across the street. An ambulance could go by or a police car could go by, and you could have sworn you heard somebody say your name. And you knew, you look, that is your reticular activating system filtering out all the noise around you to say, I just heard something that I told myself over years is important to me. And so your name is important to you. You think that that's like, yeah, that makes sense. No, if someone says your name, your brain has to recognize that someone said your name. So if someone says your name and there's a lot of noise, how is your brain able to do that? Because it's filtering all that noise for something that's a very different frequency, a different level. And so the same is true if you start thinking about a car that you're interested in buying, or maybe that purse or a pair of shoes, and you start seeing it everywhere. You've told your brain, I'm interested in that. And now you say, I like the red one. Now all of a sudden you see that red Toyota Camry everywhere. You weren't seeing that red Toyota Camry before, but guess what? It was always there. You just haven't told your brain that that was important to pay attention to. So now that you know that this is part of our brain neurologically, it's a part of our recording and memory system. If you do affirmations in a way that you repeat them often, this is why people say you can actually affirm and help manifest what it is you will achieve because you're recording it. If you believe it, what you're recording it consistently to say, I want this to be important to me. For example, when we finally said as a team, we want to make $1.8 million in revenue. We didn't want to just make revenue just because we want to be wealthy. We want to make revenue because we want to do more projects, because we want to give back more. Yes, I want to be comfortable. Yes, I want to create a legacy, but that's not the only reason why we want to shoot for that particular number at that time. But once you started doing that, we moved differently. Every single time we read that affirmation, we would say, wait a minute, this is wasting our time, or this isn't a good use of our energy, or these people aren't really helping to our vibe and where we're trying to go and the productivity and positivity and things that we want to do in life, or we're the smartest one in the room, so we need to get into some new rooms. So all these things start happening when you start to really set your affirmations, because you allow the reticular activating system to start to filter all the noise to put you in the direction of what you're trying to affirm.
That's wow. That's awesome because I know a lot of people probably, if you haven't heard of a reticular activating system, you're probably wondering now, okay, how could such a small part of the brain do so much? How can it play such a major role in my everyday life and things that I want to achieve and accomplish? Well, listen, you just heard it from Mario. Like there's so many different ways that you can use this part of your brain.
Yep.
So Mario, would you say it's safe to say that you can literally train your brain to do what you want to do?
Absolutely. It's difficult. This is not easy because if it was, everybody would be doing it. You have to, so there are a couple of things. Let me show you something. There are a couple of things that are really important. Number one, when we set our affirmations, many people set the affirmations wrong, so they're not getting the manifestations they're looking for. For example, some people will say something like, I won't quit. I won't quit is actually a negative affirmation. You're saying what you won't do. So you're actually constantly bringing up how you won't quit, but you think that that's actually going to help you. But what you really should be saying is the reverse. You should be saying a power statement of what you're actually going to do. Too often we talk with our affirmations in defense. I will lose, 8 pounds or 10 pounds. That's actually called future speak. Now you're saying what you will do. You're not saying that you're doing it. You're saying what you will plan to do. So what are you doing in the meantime? Because that future may be whenever. So for example, instead of saying, I will never quit, you would say something more like, I am resilient. It's a much more, same thing that Dr. Mary Kay says. She knows I don't like the word nervous. You don't say I'm nervous or I'm overcoming being nervous. You say I'm excited or I am energized. So your affirmations have to have the three things. Number one, they need to be a statement that's in the present tense. So, and this is the part I think trips up most people, because you're supposed to say, I am a best-selling author. And you're like, but Mario, I haven't written the book yet. And that's the point. You don't say, I will be a best-selling author, because then that puts it into the maybe category. You say, I am a best-selling author, and then you start making moves every single day as if what a best-selling author would do. What does that person do? And so when you commit with that more positive present tense, you start to build your affirmations right. So number one, present tense. Number two, they have to be positive. And then number three, repetition. You have to repeat, 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 repeat. And you need to do it with belief. So I take it to a whole other level. These are called pocket affirmations. These are little affirmations that I carry with me on a little keychain. This is actually a template of a new product that I'm looking to actually put out soon, where they're going to be like credit card size affirmations that you will be able to carry with you. So instead of reaching for my phone when I have 5 minutes, in a line, or when there's a break in the day, I reach for my pocket affirmations so I can read through. I am committed to creating a multi-million-dollar company that impacts other lives. I am getting sponsors to commit to 30 plus episodes of the Never Settle Show. I am creating a passive income product. I am attracting abundance into my life. And those are business. Then I have personal ones like I exercise every day. I'm disciplined and committed, and my body feels great. I eat clean and make healthy food choices. Not I will lose 10 pounds. I eat clean and make healthy food choices. If I do that, I will lose more than 10 pounds, or I will get more fit, or I will be more healthy. So that's important. And then if you look around me, I even have these things called tangible affirmations. Tangible affirmations are little cards that I just write. So this one says new course. So I can't wear these shoes until the new course comes out. When the new course comes out, then I can wear these shoes. So I'm buying a milestone gift, a reward in advance of me achieving it. The book is over here. I can't wear those shoes till the book comes out. So what that is doing is I see this stuff every single day when I get dressed. Another way of affirming what it is I'm shooting for, what it is I'm focused on, and I'm telling my subconscious with all these different little things what's important to me. So therefore, it helps me to filter better and to really manifest, because I start to act as if. And when you act as if, you start to do the small things that those people would be doing if that's what they were working on.
Wow. So for those of you that are tuning into the podcast, like what you're not seeing is Mario has sneakers, these fly sneakers behind him. He can't even wear them until he gets to the point, until he achieves that thing that's written on that card. I love that. I got to try that out. I don't know what it is. I might have to put some purses behind me or something.
Yep,
Some purses
purses,
that I can't use.
blouses, scarves, whatever it is. Like makeup, buy, and it doesn't matter that it's expensive. That doesn't matter. What matters is that it's something that you really would like to see as an enjoyment for yourself, that when you achieve a goal, you're going to put on that blouse, or you're going to wear that hat, or you're going to have those shoes. And so buying it in advance and saying to yourself, you can't, and keep it out in the open, and you can't wear or touch or use that thing until you achieve XYZ goal, that really keeps you, it's another way of hitting you in your brain to keep you focused and to keep you sharp on what it is you're trying to achieve. Plus, it feels amazing when you get to that goal and you get to wear those shoes. You know, I'm holding up a pair of silver Adidas shoes in my hands, and this was a pair of shoes that I could not wear until we launched our first episode of the Never Settle Show. Well, people that were following me back in 2015, they knew it took me 2 years before 2017 hit with our first episode. And on the first episode, I wore these shoes, and someone said something in the chat when we were, someone in the audience said something about the shoes, and I broke down crying, because I knew that they had watched me for 2 years basically pursue this dream. And I said I was going to wear these shoes when that happens. But now, if I go into any meeting, and I'm like, and you see me, if you ever see me on the street or going into a meeting with these silver shoes on, you better know that I am feeling super confident that I got like a superpower with me, because I know what I've been through to get to wear these shoes. And so it acts as a reinforcement as well, not just the achievement.
Wow, I love that. I love that. It acts as a reinforcement. So I hope that you all are getting this. Listen, he said your affirmations, they have to be present. They have to be positive. Matter of fact, I'm going to add something else in there, another P, power. They got to be positive, powerful statements. And you got to rinse and repeat. You got to repeat those things, and you got to repeat it with belief. You got to believe what you're saying.
That's true.
And so one of the things I love what you said, because there's so many people out there, I'm sure, that have been aspiring to be an author, to write a book. And you gave that powerful example about how, if you want to write the book, you got to say, I am a #1 best-selling author. Even if you have not written one word down on a piece of paper or typed one word in your laptop into your computer, it does not matter. Start speaking it today so that you can tell your brain what it is that you want to achieve, so that you can accomplish it with confidence. So I'm appreciative of that, because I know for me, for example, years ago, I always said, when I was a child, I said, I want to be a writer. I'm going to be a writer. I'm going to write books. As a matter of fact, I would tease people. And if someone got on my nerves or just kind of, I didn't like them, I would say, you're not going to be in my book.
I love that.
And I would say that as a comeback when I was a kid. For years, I went through so many setbacks and so many things, life got in the way, and I hadn't written the book yet. And so I wrote for everyone else. I wrote for magazines, for newspapers. I even had a scholarship for USA Today, and I had an internship with the New York Times. I was such a writer, but I had yet to write my own book. But you know what I did? I said, no matter how much life gets in the way, no matter what happens, I am going to be a best-selling author. And I said it so much, and I had it literally written down and taped to the side of my bookcase. And I saw it every day. And even though I was in law school and studying hard and just stuck in the books, I published my first book in my first year of law school.
Are you kidding me? In the first year of law school?
Yes.
That's unheard of. That's unheard of.
I had to do it. I had to get that thing out. And so I want to encourage everybody. It works. This absolutely works. We're not just telling you to do something just because it sounds good. This absolutely works. Thank you so much, Mario. This was phenomenal. I'm so grateful.
And when you start this type of talk, just be aware that the dream killers are going to come out, and I'm talking internal and external. So the dream killers is going to come out, because what's going to happen is your brain also is wired to protect you, to make you feel comfortable, to keep you safe. The minute you start saying things that sound uncomfortable, your brain says, you can't do that. You don't have the skills, the resources. You don't come from that background. You don't have that upbringing. How can you say you're going to be a bestseller? Yeah, right. You and what? How are you going to pull that off? Like your brain is already trying to challenge you because it sounds uncomfortable to you. And so therefore we start calling that nervous energy, or we get in fear, but it's just our brain reacting to energy that's within us. That actually should let you know that you're actually about to break through, because anytime that you have some discomfort, that means you're about to hit a growth spurt. So actually you want to embrace feeling that discomfort, because Dr. Mary Kaye is telling you, when you hit that point, that means you're about to do something. You're about to stretch your comfort zone into a new area. And so I really want people to be aware that when you start talking like that, other people may start projecting their fears onto you, or their lack of understanding of your vision onto you. It's going to happen. Inevitably, you or someone around you will say, how you going to pull that off? What you think you talking about? What? You talking crazy. You ain't going to be no best-selling author, just because they don't see it. So here's a difference. I want everyone to pay attention, because there are dream killers that are out there to really not see us be successful. Those are called haters. Those are the ones that really have negative energy, that do not want to see us win. And then there are people that actually love us, actually care about us, but they're afraid because they don't understand the vision, and their fear, or them being afraid, or lack of understanding what it is you're doing, makes them act in a way that makes them look like they're a hater, but they're actually just overly concerned. And so you really need to find out, like, who's the hater, so you can stay away from that energy. And then if it's about people that are loving you but are confused and just want you to get that 9-to-5 job and just have that insurance and don't worry about that, you need to just keep it moving and keep it cruising. You got a good thing going in your life already. Why you won't go ahead and shake that up now and try to jump out here and do this thing? Like, those people are afraid of your future, but they can't dictate your future. No one can dictate your destiny. Only you can determine that. And so it's your decision to make. But I will say this: if you love someone and they start to second guess you, ask them if they love you. And if they say yes, then just say, look, I just need you to, you don't have to understand what I'm doing, but I really would appreciate it if you could just support me. And I just need you to be there. I know you don't get it. I know you don't understand it, but you got to have some faith. You got to understand that I get it. I see it. And if you love me, I just need you to be there as support. You don't have to understand it. But when you say little things like, I don't see how you're going to do it, or when you say things like, you can't make that happen, that really hurts me, because it really challenges me. I know we don't come from that background. I know we don't have that, but I believe in this. So I just need you to support. So like, you have that conversation. And then if they get it, cool. If they don't, keep it moving. You just got to really refine your circle and get yourself around people that understand you, and find yourself an accountability partner, someone that is also on the come up, someone that is also aspiring to do something, and someone that is goal setting for themselves. And you two meet once a week. There is studies on this. Dr. Gail Matthews, University of San Diego, 30% of people achieve their goals if they write them down. 45 to 48% of them, if they say them. 45 to 48% of them could achieve their goals if they write them down. If you say them, write them down, and you have a weekly meeting with an accountability partner, your chances of reaching those goals goes up to 80%. So if you meet with someone once a week to talk about the goals that are of interest to you and of interest to them, and you all give each other a quick little update as to what small steps you took that week towards that goal, in 12 weeks, you're going to start seeing some big progress. And that's the thing that holds people up the most, is that their picture is so big for themselves, or the vision is so overwhelming, that they don't respect the small steps. But it's the small, consistent steps in the aggregate that creates your legacy. And so no matter how hard that dream is, no matter how much you got the odds are against you, if the odds are against you, you have to go into that dream with all ambition. You got to do it even if the odds are against you.
I love it. Do it even if the odds are against you. And beware of those dream killers, those discouragers, those haters,
Yes.
those doubters, even if that's what exists in your own mind. Beware of that. Don't do it to yourself. Don't torture yourself like that. Don't hold yourself back. Be determined. Don't doubt what's already in you. Listen, you can't say that you have not been armed with some valuable information to get you on your way to success. Matter of fact, you are already a success. We're going to speak it with you. We're going to say,
love it.
you
Love
are
it.
already there. You are where you need to be. You
That's
are
right.
already in the smack dab in the middle of your goals, in the midst of your dreams, your wildest dreams, they're right here for you to enjoy right now. Just speak
Come
it
on. I
into
mean, Dr.
existence.
Mary Kay, I mean, come on. People got too many. Y'all got too much gifts. You got too many gifts. You have too many blessings. You have, it's already, don't go chasing your passion. Just unlock it. It's already been given to you. It could very well be the thing that you think comes to you so easy that is not a gift because it comes so easy to you. You don't think it's going to take any work. So therefore you dismiss it. I would argue that that's your superpower. The thing that does come to you naturally, the thing that you're overlooking, or the thing that you maybe even been bullied over is probably the thing that is your actual superpower. Because when you tap into your unique self and you actually go into it with full belief and you go into it with ambition and you start setting goals and you get yourself an accountability partner and then you listen to Dr. Mary Kay and her podcast and her interviews and then you get a sprinkle a little bit of vitamin M from Mario on top of all that, we're telling you, this is achievable, but it's hard work. It's discipline and determination, but it can and absolutely will be done. And it's within you to unlock it. And here's the biggest thing. Who is not winning because you aren't putting it out there? Who loses when you don't lean into your gift? Not just you, not just your family, all the people you could be serving, all the people that could be impacted by your voice, your word, your services, your products. Who loses when you don't put out your full potential?
Wow. Who loses when you don't put out your full potential? When you don't lean into your purpose, when you don't do what you know you have been called to do, who is losing out? Look, that alone should give you enough passion and, determination to say, look, I don't care how hard it is or how much it takes. I'm going to pursue this thing because this is something worth achieving, because it's not about me. It's not about
Right.
me. It's about
That's
the
big.
many people that are going to be inspired and
That's
just encouraged and motivated to go after their dreams. So there's so much locked up in your yes. Listen, if you have not gotten fired up and encouraged through this interview, look, I don't know what to tell you. I know somebody is fired up today listening to this. I know somebody is charged. They're energized. They're ready
Yes.
to go out and accomplish some major things. So even today, Mario, I just want to say thank you, because your yes, you doing this interview, you being who you are, the things that you've been able to accomplish. You could just be sitting nice and comfortable and enjoying your own success, but you're out here motivating, you're out here encouraging other people, you're inspiring so many, you're pushing people into their passions, you're pushing people to pursue their dreams. So I just want to thank
True.
you on behalf of all the listeners, because I know they want to say thank you, but I'm going to say it for them since they can't speak to you directly. But listen,
Yeah.
tell them how they can connect with you further, how they can find out more about who you are and what you do, and all the things that you might have coming up. Share with the listeners how they can find out more.
And I appreciate you saying that. And I think it was a part of your earlier question. Why was this so important to me? And I think that's because I see so many people that are so talented and gifted, but they haven't had the benefit of maybe a roadmap or some exposure or the opportunity, or maybe they had a rough upbringing and now they're just coming into themselves and understanding their power within. And I just don't want to see people hurt. And when I see, especially my community, and when I see people of color like hurting even more, that's why I'm always a sponge. When I get to be in these spaces, I'm on NBC's Today Show. I'm in the green room. I'm getting to meet Warren Buffett. I get to hang out with Shark Tank people. I'm on Richard Branson's island, being invited with like 20 other entrepreneurs. When I get into these moments, I'm from Baltimore. I'm repping. They don't know I'm repping for my hood heavy. I'm repping for I'm in there like a super sponge, because I'm just going to get everything I can out of this situation. And then I'm coming back like a street reporter for all my people to understand, oh, here's how you should make a move, or here's a thing that you should know about, or so I just feel that I've been put in this role as my mom's been a teacher, taught me how to educate, taught me how to teach, the value of that and giving back. But the entrepreneurship from my dad combined in the two, it really just is why I want to see people not settle and not give up, because I've given up and I know what it's like. And then we got back up and we know what that's like. And so I want people to try to learn from those losses, but also some of our wins. So y'all can follow me on everything social media at Mario Armstrong. On Instagram, I give a lot of free information and just content on Instagram at Mario Armstrong. The new show is going to be out in a couple of weeks. The new season, I should say, of the show is going to be out in a couple of weeks. I'm super excited. So if you want to see the new season, go to neversettle.tv or go to YouTube and search Never Settle Network. And I would say those are the most important things. We do have a podcast. It's called Wake Up and Level Up. It's a daily dose of inspiration in under 4 minutes. So you can check that out. But everything is on our website, neversettle.tv, if you need to get like a full understanding of what we got going on.
Awesome. I love it. You got the 4-minute format going. You got the Never Settle TV. You got your own show. I love it because listen, people need to know how they can just stay encouraged, because hearing it one time, that's good enough. And I know you can hit replay and all of that good stuff, but this
Right.
has so much in him. So follow him. Find out the other content that he has. Go to his website, check out the podcast, check out the show. Because
Oh, and Clubhouse. How can we not shout out where we connected?
yes, Clubhouse. Find him on
Y'all
Clubhouse.
better get that app. Y'all better get that Clubhouse app and follow the two of us on there.
Yes, follow him on Clubhouse as well. So search Mario Armstrong, right? Am I right with that?
That's right. Yep.
Search Mario Armstrong. You can find him on Clubhouse. You can find me on Clubhouse. That's how we connected. That's how powerful this new app is.
True.
But we are just so motivated just to motivate you. Like this is our passion. We have that in common. And so please check Mario out. Go to his Instagram, go to his website, because listen, he has so much more to give and offer. And that's a part of what he loves to do. This is why he does it, to help people like you, the listener, me, who's just gaining so much. Even though I'm interviewing him, I'm learning so much and I'm getting fired up just listening to him. Just doing the interview. So listen.
And y'all make sure y'all share this out. I know she's going to ask you all to do this, but this is important. Like if you got some value, not out of just my interview, but even other people, like whenever you get value from Dr. Mary Kaye, please share it out, comment, post it. Like all that stuff matters. Like it really helps her podcast to be heard, to be seen, to get more reach. So if you've benefited in some way, don't just be selfish with that. Share that out with some people, because that truly does. That's almost like your easy way to give her a little payment or a little tip. It's almost a nice little way to say thank you to her, is to just say, hey, that was a great interview, or I got so much from that message that you gave me the other day. And you share that out to other people. That really, it goes a long way for people that make content and create it regularly for y'all.
Yes, thank you for that, Mario. So yes, you can say thank you by sharing, by getting this out there, by sharing it with your friends, your followers, with anyone that you're connected to. We just want to get more people encouraged and motivated. So when
That's
you
right.
do that, you're helping at somebody else, you're paying it forward, just like you were blessed by whatever you heard today. You want to pay it forward and bless somebody else.
That's right.
All right. So
right.
Thank you once again, Mario. It was such a pleasure having you on the show. I am
Thank
Dr.
you.
Mary Kaye Holmes, and this has been the Outlive the Labels podcast show. I am so excited because we are going to be having some powerful interviews, and this is one of our first. So what better way to kick it off than have somebody like someone like Mario Armstrong, this 2-time Emmy Award winner, this person who's done so much. I know that you have gotten so much out of this. I know that you have been just blessed. And so I thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And please remember to share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Thank you once again. Until next time.
Peace out, y'all. Outlive them labels. Let's go.